How does a seller go about picking the right agent? There's so many agents to pick from. Where do you even start as a seller?
Boy, Bobby, that's a great question. And I don't know that there's a definitive single answer, but I will tell you that how I would look at it, and I back the clock up 30 years ago when I was going to be selling a home in Boston. This is before I was a realtor. And I like to look at reviews. I'd like to see who out there is treating their clients and customers the way that I would want to be treated. So I'd look for those, and I'd also look for people who have had some longevity in the business. Not that there's anything wrong with being new. It was 100 years ago that I was. But I like people to work with people who have experience. And with that experience, it crosses a lot of the T's and dots a lot of the I's in making this kind of a painless process as we move forward.
And what about like compatibility with an agent? I think that's so important, because if you get somebody that you don't communicate well with, or you don't really understand the terminology, let's face it, contracts, I think the residential offer to purchase, how many pages is it? 10, 12? It's a lot. All these big words. You need somebody that can digest that and make sense of it. So do you interview people for that? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you get a feel for your communication style as a seller to find the right agent?
You know, that's a really, really valid point. And I'm going to take it just one step back. When people get an accepted offer and the offer includes a home inspection, we will usually try to send them 3 or 4 quality inspectors who are state licensed and certified. I always tell them that when you call these folks, somebody's going to give you the warm and fuzzies, I like to say, probably not the right term, but somebody's going to feel better to you than somebody else might. And that's the person you should work with. You don't want to work with somebody you don't like or trust. It also holds over to the real estate business. There's nothing wrong with interviewing. If somebody says, I'm going to talk with you next Saturday about my home, and I'm going to be bringing in a couple other realtors, I have great respect for that. Sellers have the right to be choosy, particularly in a strong market. So if I'm competing against somebody, I'd like to think that our actions and our past history tends to work for themselves. And if I lose a listing occasionally, it happens. But I also believe that I will get my share of them if I've given a fair chance. I just think go with somebody that you feel good about, that you can see yourself spending the next 60 to 90 days with, because it will probably take that long.
And then you talk about local, like how important it is to pick a local agent. You want somebody that lives in that community, understands the community. You know, we get calls all the time to take listings from outside of the area, and it just is not a good idea because we don't know the market outside of the area. Like, we know our market here. How important is that to a seller?
Well, this is absolutely huge because, you know, when you're around a long time, like many of us have been, you have people that will approach you about saying, I'm going to sell my vacation home here. Would you help me buy one somewhere down near Madison? It's kind of a double-edged sword. You'd love to help them because you build relationships in this business. But at the end of the day, the Madison market is very, very different than what you and I deal in every day. Finding somebody down there that will treat my client like I would if it were me, that's what I try to do.
Right.
So I will normally suggest to them, give me a chance, give me a day or two to do some research. I'll find somebody down there that I would consider working with. And then I'll refer you to them, and hopefully it's as painless a process as it would be here. But you are so right. And we just don't know the market in La Crosse, market in Eau Claire. Yes, we could help them, but we just don't know it. So we're not experts there.
It's just different. You really want to focus on the area that you live in. And those are the areas that we know. That's just like, we live here, we work here, we raise our kids here. So we're familiar with the schools, all the activities that go on. You know, it really is important to understand that, because then you understand the market better. So it's just.
And as you very well know, occasionally we will have agents, good quality people from outside our area, come up here with a potential buyer. Not knowing the area, it actually becomes a bit of a burden for listing agents, because now we have to be, along with working for our clients as a lister, we also have to provide all the questions answered for these buyers who have no knowledge of this area, nor does their agent. So it's just such a simple process if we allow the system to work as it's meant to.
And back to communication, I think communication style is so important for a seller, because a lot of times you hear, well, I haven't heard anything back from my agent, or I left a message days ago. I just feel like finding somebody that communicates well is really important, especially in this fast-moving market. The market moves too fast to miss any phone calls. Of course, we miss phone calls if we're with another customer, but the importance of getting back to people now more than ever. So find somebody that you can communicate well with.
Well, and you've adopted a system here over the years that has served everybody well. As we know, everybody deserves to take a little time off occasionally.
Absolutely.
You know, vacation, whether you go visit family or friends. But we have enough people here that if I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, we'll have multiple people step up and say, if I can help you while you're gone, let me know. So that's something we'll also pass along to our listing clients and our buyers, letting them know that I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, but in my absence, here's who I'd like you to call, because they'll treat you just like I would if I was here.
Yep, exactly.
Just the worst thing about it is having no conversations with anybody. Occasionally you'll find somebody that does go on a vacation I know I'm going to be out of cell range, or I will not have email access. Kind of a difficult thing to do to people who are in a tight window of opportunity to either purchase or sell. We try to take care of that.
As the customer, that's the most important thing they have going on at that time. Like, that is their focus. And when they can't get a hold of their agent, it's really frustrating. So being able to have that. And you bring up a good point too, that all of our agents are so willing to step in and help other agents out if agents are out of town or whatever. But we also have a full admin team that helps with all the behind the scenes things, and they keep things rolling so that our agents can be out doing what they do best, meeting with buyers and sellers. So it's nice to be able to have a support system within the office that keeps things moving.
Well, speaking as one of the elder people at the company here, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the admin team, because there are certain things we're very, very good at, and there are certain things we're not. And I will tell you, technology and I have never even been closely related. So to have people here who are able to assist in that is such a value to me. So thanks for doing that.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for sharing.